Welcome to my channel. In this video, we will conduct a professional exploration of John Donne's timeless masterpiece, the Good-Morrow. Join us as we unravel the layers of this enchanting poem, offering an engaging summary and in-depth analysis that will ignite your curiosity and deepen your appreciation for Donne's poetic brilliance. Who is John Donne? John Donne was an English poet, scholar, soldier and secretary born into a recusant family, who later became a cleric in the Church of England. Under royal patronage, he was made Dean of St. Paul's Cathedral in London 1621 to 1631. He is considered the preeminent representative of the metaphysical poets. Born January 22, 1572, London, United Kingdom. Died March 31, 1631, London, United Kingdom. Donne was most widely known in his lifetime as a priest. As the Dean of St. Paul's Cathedral from 1621 until his death, he was one of the capital's most prominent clergymen, a celebrated preacher whose performances drew thousands. Donne 1572 to 1631 was the most influential metaphysical poet. His personal relationship with spirituality is at the center of most of his work, and the psychological analysis and sexual realism of his work marked a dramatic departure from traditional genteel verse. The Good-Morrow is a poem by John Donne, published in his 1633 collection Songs and Sonnets, written while Donne was a student at Lincoln's Inn. The poem is one of his earliest works and is thematically considered to be the first work in Songs and Sonnets. The Good-Morrow is a 3-stanza poem, each stanza having 7 lines heptet. The rhyme scheme is unusual. Ababis the first for lines of each stanza working together in alternate pairs, the last 3 lines being a conclusion or affirmation, mostly iambic pentameter. The Good-Morrow is an Obeda morning love poem, written by the English poet John Donne, likely in the 1590s. In it, the speaker describes love as a profound experience that's almost like a religious epiphany. Indeed, the poem claims that erotic love can produce the same effects that religion can. The tone of the poem is light, highly intimate and introspective. Genre: lyric poetry. Setting: implicitly, 2 lovers awakening next to each other. Themes: life without love. One of the themes of the poem is life without love, life full of love. The next and major theme of the poem is love, loyalty in love. Poem text: I wonder, by my troth, what thou and I did, till we loved, were we not weaned till then, that sucked on country pleasures, childishly, or snorted we in the 7 sleepers' den? 'Twas so. But this, all pleasures fancies be, if ever any beauty I did see, which I desired and got, 'twas but a dream of thee. And now good morrow to our waking souls, which watch not one another out of fear, for love all love of other sights controls, and makes one little room and everywhere. Let sea discoverers to new worlds have gone, let maps to other worlds on worlds have shown. Let us possess one world, each hath one, and is one. My face in thine eye, thine in mine appears, and true plain hearts do in the faces rest. Where can we find to better hemispheres? Without sharp north, with that declining west, whatever dies was not mixed equally, if our 2 loves be one. Or, thou and I love so alike, that none do slacken, none can die. Summary: what did you and I even do before we were in love? Were we still breastfeeding? Did we only enjoy simple, childish things? Or were we fast asleep with the 7 sleepers? It's true that all of this is just pleasure's dream. If I ever wanted and gained something beautiful, it was just a dream of you. And now good morning to our souls, which are waking up. They do not watch each other out of fear. There's no need for jealousy. Love makes it so that we don't need to look at anything except each other. And it makes one small room as wide as the world. Let explorers cross the ocean to discover new worlds. Let other people make maps, charting worlds upon worlds. Let us have just one world. Each of us is a world, and so each of us has a world. My face appears in your eye, and your face appears in my eye, and the truth of our hearts is visible in our faces. Where can we find better globes? Without the cold of the north or the darkness that comes when the sun sets in the west. When something dies, it dies because its parts were not appropriately mixed, but our loves are so perfectly matched that we have become one, and thus our love will not lose its power, and we will not die. Literary devices. Anaphora. It means to repeat a word or a phrase in consecutive verses for impacts. For example, the poet used let as an anaphora in the second stanza. Allusion. It is a reference to a literary, historical, and social event, incident, or figure to show its importance in the existing context. The poet referred to 7 sleepers' den as well as the globe and hemispheres. These are religious and geographical allusions. Assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line, such as the sound of O and I. In I wonder, by my troth, what thou and I, and the sound of /o/ in and now good morrow to our waking souls. Alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line in quick succession, such as the sound of within or per second. In 7 Sleepers. Conceit. It is a literary device that shows the use of a highly uncommon or unusual metaphor. The poem shows the use of union in love as a globe and 2 persons as hemispheres. This is a good use of conceit. Consonance. Consonance is the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line, such as the sound of per l in for love, or love of other sites controls, and the sound of per meter in and makes one little room and everywhere. Hyperbole. It means to exaggerate things, whether in ironic remarks or reality. The poem shows the use of hyperbole, such as the sea discoverers would explore their world of love, which is a hyperbole used to show their love. Imagery. Imagery is used to make readers perceive things involving their 5 senses. Donne uses imagery in this poem, such as my face in thine eye, thine in mine appears, and true plain hearts do in the faces rest, and where can we find 2 better hemispheres? Metaphor. It is a figure of speech in which an implied comparison is made between objects that are different in nature. The poet used different metaphors, such as winds and waves, comparing them to musicians and singers. Parallelism. It means to use parallel sentences or phrases or clauses. The poem shows the use of parallelism, such as my face in thine eye, thine in mine appears. Personifications. It means to attribute human traits to inanimate objects and ideas. The poem shows the use of personifications, such as winds, waves, leafy trees, and hearts have some human traits. Hence, they are good examples of personifications. I hope you've understand this lecture. If you have any queries, let me know in the comments section, and do share it with your friends.